I did a little bit more work on the Leaf off camera. It looks like I did a lot, but really all I did was take off the front bumper and take out the headlights. It's just like a bunch of 10 mil bolts, and then all the sides of the front bumper, these things, they just pop out, and then this little thing at the end is kind of a pain in the butt to get off. All I did was kind of press on this thing and then push really hard down on here, and finally it popped out. I had to like kick it off basically, but got it. And for the headlights, I think it was like 2 or 3 bolts. You had one here, one there, yeah, one on the side here, and then you just pop it right out. And now I'm just kind of making my way inwards, working from the outside in, just taking off whatever is easiest. So I'm gonna take this thing off, and then maybe this, just kind of work my way in, taking it one thing at a time. Whoops. And I'm continuing to just make sure I label everything that I can. And I mean, it's nothing too crazy. Like, I'm just looking at like, okay, like these wires were connected. This obviously goes to the light on the charge door. So now I just label this charge door light. Like, I'm not really getting too complicated with it. Took a few more parts off the front end. Next up, I want to drain all of the coolant out of the radiator. So all it is a Phillips head screwdriver. Turn this lefty-loosey. Whoops, upside down. Lefty-loosey. And drain all the coolant out. It can help to loosen up this clamp here and take this thing off. And that should let the fluid drain out a little more smoothly. The coolant has been draining for a few minutes now. It's slowed down to just a slow drip, not even a trickle. I want to make sure that all of the coolant is out of the system. You'll see some people just put their mouth right up on this hose up here and blow on it. You're pretty much guaranteed to get some splashback, and I'm not about to get some coolant in my mouth. So I got my air hose and my compressor out here. I'm gonna just blow it out with the compressed air. Just gonna use an old rag to get a better seal on this hose. Alright, learn from my mistakes. I just took this hose off of the motor stack, and you can see right there a lot of fluid started leaking out, so I shove my drain pan under there, but just be aware that a lot is going to come right out of this hose right here. Alright, I'm back at it. It's been a few days. I had to find someone local, like a mobile mechanic, who could do a recovery on the Freon / refrigerant that's in the AC lines. This isn't something you can really do at home. The machines cost like thousands of dollars. Maybe you can rent one, but I just went on Facebook Marketplace and messaged every mobile mechanic seeing if they could do a Freon Capture. So now that there's no more Freon in the lines, I can work on getting the radiator out. So I took out all the bolts around the perimeter of the radiator, and then these bolts on these things come out. Whoa! There you go. Oh, there's more. Got pretty much everything disconnected from around the motor. Cables are all free now. Took this off. Took a few more of the AC lines off, so this is free. It looks like pretty much all that's keeping the motor stack connected is the motor mount here, the motor mount here, and then obviously the axles. So the first step in removing the axles, I mean, obviously you can just cut them off. I've seen people just use a grinding wheel to cut them straight off, but I'm going to try to resell them on eBay for a little bit. So the first step in getting the axles out is to take this big nut off. It's a 32 mil or 1 1/4 inch socket. But before you take that off, you basically have to punch out this little divot right here so that when you take off the nut, it doesn't round off all the threads. But I sprayed a bunch of penetrating oil, some liquid wrench all around this, and tried to get it off with just a breaker bar, and that wouldn't do it, so I'm gonna try something stupid. So you can shove a screwdriver into the brake rotor to keep it from rotating on you, and then take your breaker bar. And y'all already know my favorite saying is, if it's stupid but it works, then it ain't stupid. So let's give this a go. Okay, I think I see it moving. Hey, it did work. Y'all like and subscribe to the channel so that one day I can afford closed-toed shoes. Oh my god, I thought those threads would never end. So after I got the axle nut off, I took the brake calipers off and the brake rotors off. Then I took out the 2 bolts holding the top of the knuckle on. And then I removed the tie rod from here. And now the axle should be able to come out from here. There you go. It's out. It's out. There are 2 bolts. This is on the passenger side of the vehicle, and you can see right there and right there. Those are the 2 bolts we're going to be taking out. Alright, so after taking off those 2 bolts back there, the drive shaft just popped right out real easy. We were not able to get the driver's side drive shaft off, but another video I saw, the guy just pulled out the motor stack with this still attached, so that's what I'm going to try. Next up is loosening up all the motor mounts. So before I take any of them out, I'll loosen up this one here. There are 2 back here behind the motor. You can see that one there, and then there's one to the left of it. And then these 2 are under the car. So just loosen them up, and then I'm gonna get my straps attached. Alright y'all, we're about to get the motor out of here. This is my buddy Jordan here.
Yo, what's up?
So Jordan I met because he was walking down the street and he said that the 240 was nice. So I said, hey bro, why don't you come help me get the motor out? Not actually, but
yeah, we're gonna get it done. Yeah, we're gonna get it done.
We're gonna get this thing out. So we got the straps around here. Pretty much all the motor mounts are loosened up at this point. Okay, yeah. So it's actually moving right now. So we're gonna get the rest of the bolts taken off, and I think this thing will just come right out.
Okay, this one's off.
This thing's off too. Okay. Just a little bit.
Oh,
Nice and easy.
yeah, but I know it's connecting on it.
Okay, so now let's try to, I'm gonna unlock the wheels. And let's try to move it out.
But now we.
Okay, so. Ooh, don't wanna mess up these cables.
Yeah.
There's like, you see this black wire that goes across?
Oh yes.
So it's still connected. The take that off real quick. Okay, so this big black wire is kind of like keeping it in there. So I'm gonna disconnect that real quick and then we can get it out.
Welcome to the next episode of Deadliest Catch, where we get all. Oh yeah, we got that little bugger.
So these things, these gray ones were connected around the side and the back. The gray ones just twist counterclockwise to come off, and then it has one standard connector on here where you just press on it, and then yeah, it's free. So you wanna
I can
get it free from over there. Cool. Just pop that out of the way. It's just kind of caught around. So real quick, so the orange high voltage cable, I believe it goes back to the battery and it connects to the back of the motor. It's still connected on there, so I don't want to try to pull the motor out while that's still connected. So I'm going to go through and unbolt the little bracket holding that in, and then it should be a little more free to come out. So the ones that we had to take out
where the front faceplate of it.
We took the faceplate off. Here, actually, let me show them how it went on. This was connected right here. Took this bolt out, and then where was the second? Oop. Second one was
right there, right next to the.
Yep, right there. And then there's one more. I'll show you on the bottom. Oh yeah, right. On the bottom, right there, on the back. And the reason that we're having to take off the compressor is because basically when we're trying to pull this thing out, the compressor is hitting this bracket right here, and I was gonna just cut this off, but I couldn't find my grinding wheel, so taking off the AC compressor. I wonder if we could just navigate, now that it's loose, I wonder if we could just kind of move it around this bracket when we take the motor out.
Yeah, we can move it around.
That's good. Oh! A little bit more. Oh, that axle. Yeah. That should be good, bro. Dude, she's freaking out. Let's go, bro.
Oh!
Heck yeah, bro. We got that thing out.
Oh, shit.
Alright, y'all. That's all I got for today's video. Overall, I'm pretty surprised how easy it was to get the motor out of this thing. It's a lot of just taking parts off, a lot of wrenching, but nothing too complicated. So yeah, that's all I got. If you got any questions, put them down in the comments below, and thank you for watching.